My name is Jeremy Huffstickler. I've been speaking up about vaccine injury, Havana Syndrome, since April of 2016, but been reporting on this corporate-backed communist domestic terrorist sleeper cell working with Israeli and Chinese nationals to try to silence me for speaking up about vaccine injury. Wrote a COINTELPRO on a few of us here in Conway. There's a domestic terrorist sleeper cell member breaking in my van, or first stole my cell phone, then broke into my van. Stole a bunch of my 2+2 paperwork, questionnaires, all that stuff. Been scamming my 2+2 supporters. Basically, and trying to start another mass shooting here in Conway. Before the first mass shooting, I was in 5th Avenue Park, letting it be known these domestic terrorist sleeper cell members are trying to start a mass shooting. All the people up there, let them know these people yelling from beside your house, this and that. They're yelling because they're trying to make the people who live here think it's you. They're trying to get you ambushed when you get home from work, go to the gas station, or shoot your house up. But anyways, they got to see us telling the truth. After doing videos in their in the 5th Avenue Park for, I think the last video I did, let them know, was like 3 days before we had the mass shooting, and thankfully it was nighttime whenever we had the mass shooting. But before I got out on the street, I asked to be, before I resigned from City Hope Outreach as the men's transitional living facility director, I asked to be monitored by law enforcement, and I contacted all kinds of police department, sheriff department, FBI field offices, because there's a bunch of police officers, sheriff deputies, FBI agents, CIA analysts that also have the Havana Syndrome form of vaccine injury. And no, I'm telling the truth, but because parents who sue the vaccine companies because their children get injured, they go through the same thing, slandered, harassed, so that they won't sue. But I didn't know what to expect. I just knew to expect something, so I covered my bases really well. But I got this corporate-backed communist domestic terrorist sleeper cell that's, you probably heard the word plagiarizing at least 50,000 times if you came up here over the last year. And that's part of the corporate-backed communist domestic terrorist sleeper cell members who broke in my van, stole my stuff. I'm pretty sure they tried to rob my family, which I've been, other than talking to one of my uncles, I haven't talked to my people because I don't want anyone to say, well, y'all playing this, you playing that, you did this, you did that. Man, I can't believe I'm grazing in the food box. Like, I turned into the guy who was like, I'm not going to be that guy who just looks in the food box to see your food there. But anyways, I have my family. I have a very wealthy family. I come from a wealthy family on both sides of my family. My dad's side of the family is wealthy. There's 2 sisters and a brother. And then out of the 15 siblings that are aunts and uncles, my granny folks, she had, all of them are extremely good people. The majority, or as far as money-wise, they're very wealthy. But as far as these group members too, sex trafficking through deception, theft by deception, all kinds of crazy shit. But I talk about it on my Twitter X page, Jeremy Huffstickler 2+2 God's Word Never Wavered, because I'm responsible for 250,000 people that I contacted since April of 2016. And then them come up here and get robbed by a group that already has a reputation for robbing people. Like, it was years before I got up here. But having to be here to understand the dynamics of how this is going. Plus, investigative journalists have had contacted a slew of them in human rights groups. Just the human rights groups built around mass shootings. I'm like, come on. Come see how this is done so you can do better at your job. But most importantly, I speak up for our children. And this is the war of the mark of the beast, and speaking up for our kids. And the corporation owners don't want the truth about vaccine injury getting out, because the ones that are behind it, I need to say that right, the corporation owners behind vaccine injury and artificial intelligence being streamed on the magnetized vaccines, they don't want us getting the truth out, because it's the end of their lives. Like, if that's the truth, there ain't no way they're going to survive the legal system. They might not even make it to the legal system before the population of Earth gets them. But they don't want us speaking up. They have deep pockets in these domestic terrorist sleeper cell members are paid by the corporation owners, a bunch of them. We've gone through rotations of people over the last year and a half with the sleeper cell foot soldiers, like May 2024, starting May 2024. But they have Israeli nationals, Chinese nationals. As far as me, thankfully, I can honestly say no one from Mexico has harassed me, run any COINTELPRO. The only people that even look like they're from Mexico has been Chinese military men that were dressed up like they were from Mexico. And the first time that they did their shit, I thought that there was a new Mexican restaurant with the mariachi band because they were all dressed up like a mariachi band, looking like black hats, but like a mariachi band would wear, before they just started wearing the cool hoodies and stuff like that Mexican style hoodie and that. But anyways, if you have children, you need to be talking to your children if they're in junior high or high school, and making sure that no one's offered them to harass and slander another student, or that they're not the other student being harassed and slandered, because this is a corporate-backed communist domestic terrorist sleeper cell working with Israeli and Chinese nationals. 100% are trying to start a mass shooting, and I've been letting that be known a few months before they kicked off that first mass shooting at Fifth Avenue Park, but they ain't stopped at all. And there's a group of us that they've been running COINTELPRO on. As of August 1st, 2025, they've been recruiting junior high and high school kids heavy, or bringing them in from somewhere, but even sexually exploiting one of them. There's a little blonde-haired girl who had her shorts wedged up like she was airing out her butthole, standing at the come and go on day board. And when people walked through the door, the domestic terrorist sleeper cell member that was with her would yell, "Quit looking at my daughter's ass!" And the lady working the register actually said, maybe if she didn't dress her daughter like a whore. I'm so sick of that lady. Let me know. That lady's been doing that shit a whole lot if she's so sick of her. But not just using the children to be crash test dummies to be victims if they're able to get a violent reaction with the gun, but also sexually exploiting children. And like I said, I was the director of the Hope Homes Men's Transitional Living Facility. We had a day rapist come through. His name's Bobby Wright. He puts, in his pictures on my Twitter X page, he puts a half gram or gram of meth in girls' drinks to loosen them up, so to take their virginity. So I don't know very many virgins that make it to 18 years old, but you can just junior high, high school girls. And then a church predator, an elder abuser named Steve Skyline, who 100% is a male prostitute who preys on the elderly. And big fat bald-headed white guy, got his picture on my Twitter X page. And then a dude named Anthony Stufflebeam, who's a church predator, elder abuser, got a scar on his face, bald head. I got a video of him screaming in the street. I got to get up. But it's from a few months ago. It's from a year ago or so ago. It was on my Twitter X page, but you use it enough, it falls off. But anyways, and then I don't know Ryan's name, but I'll go to the trailer park and get a picture of Ryan. Some fix me back over at the East Robin Street Trailer Park, Oakwood, aka what used to be called the Chateau Ghetto, but now they're putting in all brand new trailers and stuff. But like I said, the most important thing I can say is if you prayed for your children, you need to know your self-worth, because the second we get the information cloud shut off, autism, cerebral palsy, those kids who look those terms will no longer look those terms. They're all mislabeled from having from the heavy metals in their body being magnetized by electromagnetic frequencies, so corporate computer scientists can stream artificial intelligence and other information cloud frequencies from the grid onto the vaccines and wirelessly brainwave data mine them, originally known as biohack them.